This is part 3 of Never Buy One of These Clayton Manufactured Homes. And in this video, we are continuing to document the fraudulent inspection of this criminal state inspector who works for the corrupt Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, Jimmy Turner. So let's get started. Now I want you to keep a mental note of how many photographs Mr. Wells, the attorney of Clayton Homes, takes, because it'll be important later on.
Manufacturer, where you at? Manufacturer, you at? What about the board for account here? Yes, sir. You got what you have? Behind this? Yeah. It's a house wrap.
Now, Inspector Turner should not be asking any questions to anyone about anything regarding this house. That's colluding.
And when I've done the research on this panel, and I'll be first to tell you, I question because some of these penalties, the smart panels don't require the gap to be sealed. The 328307 of the standards tell me differently. So I questioned them, okay, on another inspection a couple of years ago.
So, Inspector Turner questioned the gaps in the smart panel a couple years ago. Is that the last time you did an inspection on one of these homes? How many of these homes do you think come with smart panel?
According to their engineers, this right here is not a problem. I don't even see no cameras here.
Now I want you to give me one name of an engineer that you had spoken to. One name.
This right here is not a problem. I don't even see no cameras here. If there's issues here, yeah, I understand that. I understand what you're saying right there.
Did he just try to pound the gap back in with his fist that he doesn't see?
Well, here's the thing. So this is a manufactured house. The wall's not going to be completely level, but it's going to meet the standard.
Walls are plumb. Floors are level. And what is the standard, Inspector Turner?
I'll tell you that right now. It's going to meet the standard. Okay? But go ahead. What else you got?
That's right here. Yes, go out. And you come step back here. Take a look at the roof line.
Okay.
The roof itself. Back up a little bit. I put a string line up there for you. Okay. So, you got a dip right there. It goes like this. All right. The shingles do this and this.
Just so it's clear, you say these two windows right here are leaking right
Yes.
here? Okay. All right. And this one also? All the windows in the red tape?
Well, the orange tape on there was to show that, how they're popping out. All right.
Okay.
All the trim back here is 4 inches. All the trim in the front of the house is 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was a little off.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So we.
Now, we are not 10 minutes into this inspection, and Inspector Turner has already missed more items than he put in his report. The installer arriving with the missing wheel was the first one. The gap in the smart panel was the second. The walls not being level, but it's actually walls not plumb, was the third. The leaking windows was the fourth. The windows almost popping all the way out of the wall was the fifth. The dips in the roof were the sixth. And the seventh was all the trim on the back half of the house is 4 inches, while all the trim on the front half of the house is 6 inches. Not one of these items had made it into Inspector Turner's report. Even though in section 1201.356 point, report and order amendment compliance, B, the report shall specify each of the consumer's complaints.
Yeah. So we go around.
Okay. All right.
You can see this wall too. It goes like this.
All right, guys, we kind of stay together. I appreciate both this information at one time, okay?
Now Inspector Turner has to tell all the guys he ordered to attend this inspection to stay together. So let's see what Inspector Turner's boss, Jim R. Hicks, who is the executive director of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, says about all those people being there. He writes,
"As stated in my email, it is a matter of internal policy to invite all parties to the inspection, as it is an opportunity for all to view the findings of the inspector and to gain a full understanding of what must be remedied and or what issues may be out of our jurisdiction. Additionally, since the license holder will be held accountable for making the repairs on jurisdictional findings, it is imperative that they have a full understanding of what must be done in accordance with state and federal law, so that your issues will be resolved as quickly as possible." These are not custom homes, these are manufactured homes. And each individual home comes with its own manual. And these manuals have detailed plans for every inch of the home, right down to the size of the nails, how many nails are used, and where they go. So all Inspector Turner would have to do is go to the page number for the item in question and then document it from there.
and what part of the home do you think Mr. Wells is going to repair? Let me show you something else we've uncovered about Mr. Wells. On January 10th, 2020, he charged Clayton Homes $952 for various emails and telephone calls involving clients and Inspector Jimmy Turner regarding TDHCA inspection. 2. Confirming change of TDHCA inspection and arranging coordination of resources. So, 5 days prior to this inspection, they were hatching a plan to defraud us. Do you think that's okay? It's not.
They fill them with silicone.
Yes, sir.
And as soon as the silicone dries, it shrinks. There's big one in here. And then here's some more on top.
Now keep an eye on Jeffy Levy, the general manager of Clayton Homes. because he knows he's in trouble.
All these now homes.
Yes, sir. They still in me. If they had still in me,
They use silicone. They're supposed to use wood fiber.
well, silicone is almost very take things you have to do.
Here's another thing. You mean, the serial number there, there's somebody else another one over there. These two pieces, they go together. Somebody can change that.
You have a retail manufacturer. You guys have the retail. You have the manufacturer of the serial information.
That was awkward, huh? He's trying to buy himself some time. And he knew exactly what I was talking about.
He's on his way.
Okay.
And this is what I was talking about. You see this stamped in serial number here on the side of the frame? You think this is supposed to be like that? It's not. Try doing that to a car and see what happens. And this absolutely should have made it into Inspector Turner's report, but it did not.
What else you guys say?
Well, everything in our contract says that this house is 34 by 66, 2,244 square feet. Right, there's a sign in the window over here that says this house is 2,212 square feet at 34 by 66. Okay, 34 by 66 is 2,212 square feet. All right, this says 2,212 square feet, or 2,244 square feet, 34 by 66. This sign here says this house is 2,000. I just want to know which one's right. It's 34 times 66. You know, it's 2,244 square feet.
Okay.
All right, now hold on. I want to know what part of this house is 34 feet. Anybody tell me?
About 66.
I want to know what part. I want to hear.
We're talking about the width now. So it's more
Yeah, well.
66, okay. And now you guys manufacture, you have tolerances, is that right? I mean, variances?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are those?
What the hell is he talking about? Tolerances and varices.
Variances. On the 325. Yeah.
Inspector Turner is once again colluding with the service manager of Southern Energy Homes, Charles Grimsley.
285. That's
You can't include the deeds. It's very rich.
well, again, sir, this is manufacturing. This is not site build. Okay? They build now. They have to build these homes in accordance to their engineers. Okay, they can't go to the factory and say we're gonna build this one 34, we're gonna build the next one 36. They can't do that. Okay, they have a group of engineers. It's called the adapters. Okay, a group of designers well, this gentleman for the manufacturers tell you how they measure it. That's how they come up with this number. Okay, so if you're going from there to there, you're not going to get the right number. That makes sense?
Well, I've been in construction for 40 years.
I understand that. Are you familiar with the HUD standard?
No.
Okay. Well, this home was constructed to the HUD standards. It's 90 days from site-built construction. In fact, these homes are built under more strenuous rules and laws because they have to be transported down the road.
So I guess it's okay to pull the house around with the missing front right wheel, right?
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
What part of 66 then? Well, this half of the house is 66. The other part of the house is 56. His house is 1,942 square feet.
Tell them how you made it lie.
Huh?
The longest side is your length, basically what the now.
So porch is also added. So both halves are the same size.
Okay. You have questions about this?
The porch does not go as far as 66.
There are.
From everything I know, besides, you can't add a porch or the it's hard to get
This is the sign that's in the window. And it states that this home is 2,212 square feet at 34 by 66. And 19 separate times, our contract states that this house is 2,244 square feet at 66 by 34.
And our application for statement of ownership states the same. This is a state-required government document filled out by the general manager of Clayton Homes, Jeffy Levy, and sent back to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division. And it's fraudulent. And we
received 2 separate statements of ownership. One was from the executive director of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, Joe A. Garcia, and the other was from the interim executive director, James R. Hicks. And they both state that the front half of the house is 15 foot by 66 foot, and the back half of the house is 17 foot by 64 foot at 2,078 square feet. And they both state that the home was purchased on September 18th, 2019. That's incorrect. The home was purchased on August 16th, 2019. We also received an email from a Jennifer Latham, who is an investigator 3 for the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division. And she tells us that the home is 30 by 66, which would bring the square footage total to 1,980 square feet. She also tries to tell us that the home was purchased on September 18th, 2019. That is incorrect. The home was purchased on August 16th, 2019. So now we have 4 separate square footage totals to the house, and every one of them are wrong. And I'm going to prove it to you.
accordingly.
HUD and Turbis Statute 3282.8G as follows. 1. In calculating the square footage of the home, measurements shall be taken on the exterior of the home. The square footage includes all siding, corner trim, molding, storage space, and areas enclosed by windows, but not the roof overhangs.
These are the actual plans for the house. And this is the back piece. This is the back piece of the house. And up here, it says 56 foot. So from here to here is 56 foot. Okay? From here to here is 204 inches, which equal 17 foot. Okay? So you do 56 times 17, and you come up with 952. So this back half of the house is 952 square feet. This is the front half. Okay? Right here, it says 66. So from here to here is 66 foot long. Okay? From here to here is 180 inches, which equal 15 foot. So you do 15 times 66, you come up with 990. So the front half is 990 square feet. The back half is 952 square feet. So the grand total of 1,942 square feet.
That is a 302 square foot difference from what our contract states the home to be. That is an area larger than the master bedroom, which affects our property taxes, our insurance, and the value of the home. So this is a huge problem for Inspector Turner, which just showed him lying and colluding with the service manager. Also, you see the front door over here? By law, Clayton Homes is required to install steps at that door. And the home has been there for 4 months. This is a 3-foot drop. Imagine if one of our grandkids fell off of that.
You know, all these are 6-inch, they're 4-inch on the other side.
We don't deal with trim now.
Yeah,
But,
well, you know,
but here's the thing. I want these guys to see it. Just because I don't have jurisdiction don't mean they can't do something about it, okay? So go ahead and show
Well,
us.
I mean, you know, and then all the paint, you know, I mean,
Now, if they're paint boards, I can deal with it. We're getting boards.
well, there is a, yeah. Over here, over there.
We're gonna live it here, I know. Now, any water coming up the side.
Well, we haven't seen any here.
Okay.
On the other side, yes.
When we get inside, I definitely want to see it. Anything else over here?
Well, this come way down here. The other one does not. All the stickers on this side, and we look fairly new. I don't know what this wood is right here, underneath there.
So Inspector Turner is colluding with the manufacturer once again. Why is Inspector Turner even here? He should have just had the manufacturer do the inspection. The Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division is a waste of taxpayer money.
That's underneath the back. That's the big.
Yeah, it was not a block. Second block, crack and chill. Well, how many blocks did you guys switch up? 52, probably close to it.
No, that was the wrong answer. He probably should have said, I don't know, because I didn't do it. That was Texas Leveling.
Now, how many photographs do you think the attorney of Clayton Homes, Brent Wells, has taken at this point? Lots. How many do you think this guy took who showed up in place of the attorney we hired? 0. You would think that the guy who's never been on one of these inspections would be watching the guy that's been on thousands of these inspections. And I'm going to tell you what happened with Hargrave Law Firm at the end of Inspector Turner's inspection. So we're going to have to wrap up part 3 of our Never Buy a Clayton Manu Rat Turd Home. We still have a long ways to go documenting the fraudulent inspection of State Inspector Jimmy Turner. So please like, share, and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching. See you soon.